Hello and welcome to joining us at the Installer. I'm delighted to present to you here. We have Lizzie Wilkinson from Ideal Heating. She's head of domestic product management there. And Lizzie, you're going to introduce to us some of these fantastic sort of heating controls and the latest developments that we've seen coming onto the market. They've been described as a game-changing product. So really excited to hear about that. Lizzie, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hi Ben, thanks for having me.
Could you tell us a bit more about these new Halo heating controls?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've recently launched two new controls from Ideal Heating, Halo Combi RF and Halo Combi Wi-Fi. So these are single zone programmable room thermostats. They're designed to go with our Logic and Vogue Combi boilers. And they're really, really exciting. So they're sort of, from both the installer perspective and the end user perspective, they're a really, really easy install, but they're also really nice looking controls with loads of functionality. The Halo Combi Wi-Fi control also, as it sounds, has the added benefit of connectivity. And we've got an Ideal Halo app, which has some great smart features for the homeowner as well.
Great. And you mentioned they're straightforward to install. That's obviously always one of the first challenges with these sorts of technology. Could you just talk us through that? How easy is it?
Yeah, absolutely. So we talk about the fact that it's so easy. You just plug, pair and play. So what it is, if I just show you, I've got some props with me. In the kit, we have something we call the smart interface. So this is really the brains of the whole operation. This is what's controlling the boiler. And this has a plug on the back and plugs into the front of our Logic and Vogue Combi boilers.
Great.
So this then communicates via Zigbee, which is our wireless communication protocol, to the Halo control, which can be sited sort of anywhere in the house. So the really great thing about the install is that you don't have to wire into the boiler. There's no wiring for the installer. It's simply plug this into the aperture on the front of the boiler, power up the boiler, press the pair button and pair it to the control. Really, really simple.
Brilliant. And then those controls, that looks like a really sleek new design, and also I guess for an installer base who might be thinking about their customers and do they want that sort of technology, they might be used to older things. Can you talk us through that? Is it easy for granny to use?
Absolutely, that's the way we've designed it. So we really like to make everything as easy to use as possible. That's one of the best features of our Logic boiler, and we really want to carry that through to the controls as well. So I'm not sure if you can see, but the Halo control, it's really modern looking, really nice looking as well. The interface is a dial with two buttons. So the dial's really easy to use. It's got a nice click to it, really intuitive. And then the really good thing about the control, I'm not sure if you can see, it's got a really large color screen. So that's
Great, yeah.
important. So it's got, we're using this sort of combination of large numbers, plain English text, colored symbols, which we all use to make it as easy and intuitive to use as possible. And because we've got that big screen, it means we've got quite a lot of freedom to put a lot of information on it to help the user as much as possible. Mm-hmm. We also did quite a lot of extensive user testing on that user interface. So we really wanted to make sure, like you say, that everyone, including Granny, can use that control. So we did a load of user testing. We got different sort of people from different age ranges, everyone from their 20s up to, I think we had some people in their 70s, 80s, all doing tasks on the screen, tasks using the button and dials to make sure they could use it. And we sort of made changes to the language we used based on feedback we got from those users. We also made sure that we chose users who had maybe previously only used a timer and a thermostat, and also users that were currently using smart controls. So we really tried to make sure that as sort of wider range of people find it as easy to use as possible. On the website, there's absolutely stacks of video and stuff on how to use it as well. We've done loads of how-to videos, how to set the schedules, how to use the app, everything like that. So all of that's available online too. So there's plenty of material out there to look at too.
Great. And what would you say is the one thing that really makes it stand out? I mean, particularly perhaps across the competition at the moment, a number of these types of products coming out.
I think I'm going to take the liberty. I think there's two things that make it stand out. I think for the installer, it is that ease of install. It really is. The fact that you don't have to wire it, the fact you just plug it in the front of the boiler and pair it up and it's no problem is a real win in terms of just time and ease. And then the other one is that big color screen, just because it makes it so easy for the user. I really think that that's such a big deal. People are sometimes used to sort of older thermostats. You've got a little digital screen, not information. We're trying to give people as much info as possible and make it as easy to use as possible.
Brilliant. So you just turn it down with that click, just like you would on a thermostat, but you can really see everything that's...
Yeah, absolutely. And it gives you lots of information. So for example, if it does happen that there's a fault on the boiler, information will come up on the screen, on the control, and that will prompt the householder to maybe call their installer, call Ideal, and tell them what they need to do if there's a problem as well.
Okay, great. Yeah, so maybe we'll jump onto that. You know, if there is a problem, how does the sort of support work out? Do you guys have a team of installers that people can call, or
yeah? So we've got our call center. So we've got loads of people who know huge amounts about our products who are available on the phone. So if there's an issue, obviously there's technical support, there's customer support at Ideal. We've also got our team of engineers all over the country, out in their vans every day, who are going around doing warranty work and stuff. So everybody knows about the control and is really well trained on the control, so they can definitely help with any issues. The other thing that we've got is the connected version of the control. So the Halo Combi Wi-Fi actually sends data from the boiler and the control up into the cloud. So that's how the homeowner has app-controlled heating. But that data also can be accessed by our guys in our customer service department at Ideal Heating, which means that if someone does have a problem and they've got our connected control, the guys in customer services can dial in, they can see data from the boiler, they can see fault codes remotely, and they can also see what's going on with the control. So if somebody's just got a bit confused with the schedules or something, we can help them out remotely.
And so they can really fix a lot of those problems up front. That's without having to call someone out. That's really helpful, isn't it? Well, how about a couple of other questions for sort of installers out there? You know, Boiler Plus. So does Halo comply with that?
Yeah, absolutely, completely. So obviously for Boiler Plus, for your replacement combi boilers, you need to make sure you've got time and temperature control, and then one of those 4 additional energy efficiency measures. So both the Halo Combi RF and the Halo Combi Wi-Fi both have enhanced load compensation, which gets you a big tick in the Boiler Plus box. The Halo Combi Wi-Fi also qualifies as a smart control with automation and optimization. So if you're installing one of our Logic or Vogue Max combi boilers plus a Halo, then you've got Boiler Plus absolutely covered.
Brilliant. And then you mentioned that, you know, the app and combining it on Wi-Fi. Yeah. Is that really easy to do? And then once you do that, what's the benefit of doing so?
Again, we've wanted to make the install as easy as possible. So what you'll see with the Halo controls is there's no additional components for our Halo Wi-Fi control. So there's no sort of hub or gateway that needs to be plugged into an Ethernet router. The Wi-Fi module is actually within that smart interface that plugs into the front of the boiler. And then the way that you get the control online is the homeowner would just download the Halo app from the App Store or Google Play. They set up an account, and then the app will automatically lead them through a step-by-step process to get the Halo online. And all that means is they'll have to press a button on that smart interface just to pair it to the Wi-Fi. They'll need their home Wi-Fi sort of network name, and they'll need their Wi-Fi password. And it really does just take them through a step-by-step process and get them online.
As simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely. So once they've got the app, obviously then they can do everything they could do on the thermostat, they can do remotely. So they could alter their schedules, they can change the mode and the temperature up and down. But we've also got some specific sort of smart home features in the app, which are really, really nice. So we're compatible with Amazon Alexa and with Google Home. So if you go onto the app for either of those, the homeowner can find the Ideal Halo skill, download that skill, and then you can link your Halo to Alexa. So you can then have voice controlled heating, which is quite cool.
Great, yeah.
Yeah.
So whenever you're on route back home, you can kind of pop the heating on and do that through your app, or
through the app.
You can do that through,
or if you're
your home too.
on the sofa and you can't be bothered to get up and you want to say, Alexa, make it warmer in here, then Alexa will turn your heating up as well. So it's really cool.
Fantastic, very, very sort of smart and all that. Are there any other points you want to make, Lizzie, about this?
The big smart feature that we've got is geolocation. The Ideal Halo app has geolocation in it, which is another really smart feature, and one that really helps the homeowner control their heating in as efficient manner as possible. So geolocation is where the app uses the location feature on the phone to work out if the person is at home or away from home. And what it'll do then is it'll bring the heating on, or it'll run their preset schedule when they're at home. But when they leave, it'll turn the heating off automatically. And this works with multiple users. So you can, the last person out, the heating will go off, and the first person back in, the heating will come back on, which basically means if an installer has customers who are really busy, if it's a family who are constantly out doing, you know, bits and pieces, if someone who does shift work, or even just if you end up being late and staying late at work or something, the heating's only on when you're in the house or when the family is in the house, which means that there's no heating in an empty home, but you don't have to actively sort of go into the app and adjust the heating. So it's a really nice feature. It just runs in the background. We say it's set and forget. So set it up and then just let it work sort of for you. That's great. So that must save quite a bit of money over time if you're away for a weekend or if you're away for a couple of nights. Yeah, it's a really nice and efficient way of running the heating. Like I say, you're only using the homeowner's only using the heating when they need to. So that's really, really nice. Yeah. Brilliant. And that's all perhaps helping us also come down towards net zero, which is our last festival as well. But it's great to see technology and things moving us along towards sort of those sort of paths. Brilliant. Lizzie, thanks so much for coming on. Where should people go? Who should they contact to sort of find out more? Where would you like people to go after watching this? There's loads of information on our website, on the Ideal Heating website, but also for installers, if you contact your local ASM, they'd be more than happy to take you through loads of information. They've all got loads of information about the controls, so contact them as well. Fantastic. That's brilliant. Lizzie, thank you so much for coming on, and thank you so much to our friends there at Ideal Heating. Been great to see you. Thanks very much. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.